everybody. Hello, good sir. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I am no longer sweltering in my apartment. They fixed my cooling.
Yes. Finally fixed your air conditioner. Thank goodness. I kind of worried about you because I know it's been insanely hot there.
Oh, it was getting bad in here, Ghost. The paint that I was using was starting to dry up in the can because it was so hot. And the candles were melting. And they didn't believe me that it wasn't working until the maintenance man came up here. And he's like, my God, it's hot in your house. And I'm like, you think? Yeah.
I'm sitting on an ice cube just to stay cool.
Right? It's like I only got like 7 or 8 fans around me because it's so cold in my house.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
Holy crap. Took them long enough, don't you think?
A week. Yeah, I was worried my dog was going to get sick because it was 104 in the house and it was like, 101 outside. So it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, that's not good for an animal at all. Not at all.
No, not an old dog either. So, I was worried about it.
No doubt. Hello, Lotus. I know you just stopped and said hello, but hello.
Lotus.
Hello, how you doing? And Blue.
What's going on, Blue?
I guess we're going to talk once a few more people pop in here. We're going to talk about the devil monkey for a little bit. What we can come up with. My picture in the background is a devil monkey. I've got like 2 stories that I got a long time ago from a diner, and the other one was from a farmer up in Seneca. So
that's cool.
And I know you got some stuff for it. So I let you pretty much run this show because you're the man with the pan. So,
what's going on, Ralph and Cassie?
Ralphie. Hey, Ralph. Batmom.
Hey, Batmom. Yeah, I got a little soft spot for devil monkeys. I remember when I first started talking about them, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Everybody else is like, oh, I've never heard of devil monkeys. What are they? And now everybody's talking about them. I'm like, really?
Really?
Really? Take your time, dude. What's up, Batmom?
I'm so sorry about that. Man, my allergies went ballistic today.
Don't even sweat it, dude. It's all good.
Hello, everybody. So I have some crowd rolls in here. I'm going to refresh here and see where we're at.
Yeah, give them a few minutes, man.
Yeah.
Roger, what's up?
Mr. Roger Blair, how are you, sir? I hope you are well. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July and a weekend. I kind of missed not having Gemma's 2 videos on Monday, but she's a busy lady right now. But she will be here Friday at 7:15. I'm not sure about. Hey, Jason, welcome. I'm not sure yet about Pixie. As far as I know, she plans on being here, but I don't know. I will know everything tomorrow, I hope.
Okay.
And then me and Ryan are gonna do the Thursdays that she don't stream.
Yes.
So, and we're gonna call it. I think she got tagged that as Haunted Thursdays or Hunted Thursdays or something like that. So we're just gonna leave Thursdays for. We're not going to have a topic, but we're going to talk about the paranormal and just let you guys kind of play with us on that. And then on Tuesdays, I'd like to try to keep it on a topic. Pick a topic, talking about it as much as you can, because some of these topics I know you kind of run thin on material. Believe me, it's like with the devil monkey, you kind of hit a stalemate. You go so far, and it just kind of becomes a stalemate. So, and then you just have to go with the counters.
Or you can go into theories too, though, because I've got some theories on devil monkeys. So,
but I hope everybody had a good weekend.
Well, hold up, Batmom. If you're driving, why are you texting right now? You should not be texting and driving, young lady.
Unless you're doing voice to text.
No, you shouldn't be doing that either. You should be just driving.
So I don't do any of that stuff. I turn my phone off or put my phone down and just let everybody know that I'm driving. Now, most people know that if I'm not answering, it's either I'm in the bathroom or I'm driving or busy. I'm usually, if I'm not answering the phone, it's usually one of those 3. I'm working on the house. Yeah. I don't like carrying my phone with me because, I shake it to shaking and it's hard enough when I'm working. So I'm always afraid I'm going to break my phone.
Before anybody asks,
power washing the house.
there's
There
Duke.
he
In
is.
case anybody asks, he's right there.
Hey, bud. How you doing, young man?
He's looking right at you.
I know he is. All dogs go to heaven. But me.
Yep.
Puff's gonna go with me. Yeah, too bad he's not in here. He's a nut. He's been up Grandpa's butt lately. It's hilarious. Yeah.
That's fun.
They pick on each other. It's like watching two old men just the movie Grouchy Old Men, Grumpy Old Men.
Yep,
It's
I love
like
that movie.
them. It is like watching them.
Those are great movies.
Yeah, they are. They are funny. They're good. Yes.
Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau.
You see, they got Kong v Godzilla v Kong 4 getting ready to pop out, or 3 or whatever it's gonna be.
Yep, another one.
Yep.
So they're gonna have to bring that to an end pretty soon, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna ride it until they get nothing out of it.
Yeah, it's getting
That's
too comic book like
Well,
though.
You know, they stop to forget that they have Monarch too, the show Monarch.
Yeah.
And they could use some of that too, they lead into stories and stuff, and they don't have to always kind of stick to that.
That's true. That's true.
Because there's so many other creatures they can work with.
Yeah, they just got to be careful how they bring them in, though. I mean, don't dilute the original origin too much.
Yeah. Where it's like, hey, Shelly, long time no see, dear. I hope you're well.
Hey, Shelly. Hello.
It's funny because I have a friend who was telling me they are trying to get Gamera.
It's not going to happen.
And that's what I'm hearing, too. It's like they're like,
no.
But it would be so cool if they could do it, though. I mean, if
it would be cool
for Gamera.
It'd be cool, but Toho screwed that up years ago, man.
Many years ago, yeah.
Yep. I mean, when they approached Dai about working with the Gamera franchise, they wanted Godzilla to kill off Gamera. You know, so you can't go to another company and be like, "Oh, we'll put our star with yours, but we're going to kill your star." Yeah, I mean that's not how that works, you know. So
you got to go away. You know, even in the original King Kong versus Godzilla versus King Kong, they don't tell you if Kong's dead or Godzilla's dead. You just see, you know, because Godzilla lives in the ocean.
Yeah.
So you just see him swimming off, Kong swimming off. So you know, they leave it as a tie. You know, it's a tie.
Yeah. Pretty much. So I don't know. I think you just got to be careful.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know, I mean, because when you make too many, though, you kind of lose the morals of the story and the whole feel to the story.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree. Totally agree.
I mean, already, you know, it's getting bad already because Kong has that glove. It's like he's got a Thanos glove now, you know, and I'm like, that's stupid. Come on.
Yeah. I need cheese. How are you? King Kong lives the best of all time.
That movie was so bad.
All right. It's been a while since I've watched that one.
Come on, man. It had a Lady Kong in it. It had the little baby Kong at the end. It was a good movie. It was so bad it was good.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've watched that.
It's saving grace. So as the one thing that saved that one for me was Linda Hamilton. I'm a big Linda Hamilton mark. So
yes. I've got the
anytime she's on the screen, I'm like, ooh, Linda Hamilton. So
yeah, I got it too, Roger. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I still watch it to this day. I also like King Kong Escapes.
That's a good one.
The Bionic or the Mecha Kong. That's in
Mechanic Kong.
Mechanic Kong, Mecha Kong.
You know, that was actually inspired by the Hanna-Barbera cartoon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's such a cool costume. You know, somebody actually has that costume, I believe, one of them. Yeah. So.
Yep.
You're right. It was Linda.
Yes.
Go. Yeah, we're talking about Godzilla until we're up to 12 now. So you want to get started?
Sure, man. If you want to roll it,
go ahead and lead into it because I like you better because you explain. I had a hard time Saturday night trying to speak my mind. I was so jumbled, and I'm still kind of phasing from that. So I'm going to let you ride the beginning, and then I'll just follow along for the ride.
Okay, so devil monkeys. Okay, they're smaller Bigfoot-like creatures that have been seen in Arizona, Canada, Utah, Tennessee. They describe them as almost baboon-like creatures, but they have really big bushy tails, and they can actually leap across entire farm fields in about 1 or 2 leaps. They're really, really quick, and they're hyper aggressive. And a lot of people say that they're some kind of Bigfoot, that they're related to Bigfoot in some way. I don't think they are, but
maybe they're not. Well,
no,
I noticed a lot of the ones, the pictures I've seen, like the one behind, they've got kind of a mane too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them.
Well, here's my thing though.
They have like a mane.
They can't be related to Bigfoot because devil monkeys, they're primates. They're some kind of monkey, some kind of baboon, or some kind of creature along those lines. So they can't be related to Bigfoot, because then we're saying that Bigfoot is also an ape. And I don't believe that Bigfoot is just an ape.
You don't think he's part primate?
I think he's primate. I mean, we're primates. Humans are.
Right.
So if Bigfoot is related to us at all, then by default, he too is a primate. But these guys are more simian-like. These look exactly like baboons. They behave like monkeys do. You know, they got the aggressive behavior like baboons.
Yes.
So
well,
I don't.
They're aggressive like chimps can be when they're. Really
I don't think they're related to Bigfoot. I really don't.
I can see that. I see, the thing with me and Bigfoot is, to me, when I look at Kong, I see Bigfoot because he stands upright. He's not hunched over like a gorilla or a great ape. He stands up. You know,
well, that's because Kong's not a gorilla, though. Kong isn't a gorilla. He's his own species of ape.
Yeah, that's true, too. That is true.
Yeah. But no, devil monkeys are, they're interesting because the earliest reports in the States, anyway, they started up in the 30s. They were talking, farmers and ranchers were talking about these monkey-like creatures that were invading their chicken coops. And when they went to go chase them, these monkey-like creatures were leaping away. A lot of people said they were seeing kangaroos, but you would know the difference between a kangaroo and a monkey, though. You're not going to mix those two up, I don't think. At least I wouldn't. But, I mean, some of the people like.
That mom says she thinks they're actually related to the flying squirrels of Missouri.
She's joking. She's joking. She's being the bat mom.
I know.
Yeah.
I was getting a giggle out because we don't have flying squirrels here.
Yeah, I don't think that they could be kangaroos, really, though. Because, I mean, when you look at baboons and you look at kangaroos, while they have the snout in common, that's where the similarities end.
Yes, there's a big difference in the body structure and in the lower half. And plus, you got a marsupial that carries its child.
Yeah. You know, so in the story from 1959 from Virginia, there was a couple driving along a road, and the wife looked outside the passenger side window, and there's a devil monkey chasing alongside the car. And this thing is actually keeping up with her car, and it's pounding on her door as it's keeping up. And the way she described it, it was taffy colored. It had the snout like a dog, you know, and it had the ears right here, not up here like kangaroos have. And it had like white stripes going down its chest and its back. Doesn't sound like a kangaroo to me.
The white stripes is new to me. Now, the stories I've heard, the two main ones that I remember the most that I looked up earlier out of the books I had, the one in Seneca, they said it was a gray, black, and it stayed pretty much in the trees. But every time they started to walk toward it, it would literally shake the whole tree and make all kinds of screeches and screams and like it would attack them if they got close. I mean, they said it was rather aggressive, and they pretty much kept their distance. But every time they took a couple steps forward, man, they said the whole tree would, and it stayed up there, and the whole tree would look like it'd be swinging as hard as it was shaking.
I mean, monkeys themselves, dude, they're strong as can be. People think monkeys aren't strong. It's like, oh, they can wreck you. A baboon, an angry baboon, could do damage to you or I very easily.
Oh, easy.
You know, so, and baboons, baboons do go up in trees. Spider monkeys go in trees. Chimpanzees go in trees.
They all are excellent tree.
Uh-huh.
It had racing stripes.
I read that at the wrong time, Blue. I was about to spit out my coffee. That's a good joke, man.
Yeah, it is.
Stroke to my coffee. Thanks.
But the one that was seen down in Logan, they said that one, the way they described it, it looked more like sounded more like a baboon. It had reddish brown fur. It had a mane. Yeah, that one did. Now the one in Seneca, it was that night. he said it kept waking them up.
Hmm.
It made the animals go nuts because he had a farm, and then there was a dense forest behind them.
Oh,
and
okay.
He said the only reason he thought it was a monkey was because the way it was jumping from tree to tree when they would go out. He said that actually after the third night, he went out with the gun, with his shotgun, his boomstick, and fired it in the air. And they said they never saw it again.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That would make total sense too. I mean, it's going to scare it away, hopefully.
Yeah. But he said it was freaking his animals out big time. He did have chickens missing.
Yeah, I took a report here in Arizona. It was when I was living in Benson. There was a rancher that lived out near the near that town that was there, and he had a ranch where he had ducks, he had turkeys, he had Cornish game hens, chickens, and these things were coming in and they were taking his turkeys, the younger turkeys. And at first he thought they were coyotes, so he started putting up fences that were higher and higher and higher up. They were still getting over the fence though. So he's like, these aren't coyotes because they're not digging under the fence. They're climbing over the fence. And he recorded some vocalizations and it sounded like monkeys screeching.
That's what the guy in Seneca said. It sounded like a chimpanzee throwing a fit, is what he said. It's not like you're at a zoo and you'd watch them get mad at each other. He said it's exactly what it sounded like.
Yep. He said
I didn't know we had monkeys in Ohio. And I said, I don't think that was a monkey, dude. Well, I think it was a monkey, but not the monkey you expect it to be. And that's actually one of the first times I heard of a devil monkey. Then I heard the story down in Logan.
Right. Yeah. Well, the guy I talked to, he said that they sound like they were barking, and baboons actually do bark.
Yeah,
when you listen, they have like a barking kind of emission they make.
I think they talk to each other like that too, don't they?
Yeah. It could be a hunting call. It could be like a communication thing. Absolutely. Yeah. So, but they're always aggressive though.
Have you seen that footage of the baboons attacking the cheetah?
I have. Yes.
That is insane. That cheetah, I don't know how he got away. If he even got away, because they literally follow him out of camera view.
Well, yeah,
they had him down.
It's possible that he got away. I don't think so, but
I don't know. Because he can climb a tree, so can they.
Was it a cheetah or a leopard though? Because maybe I could see a cheetah getting away because cheetahs are the fastest animals.
Maybe it was a leopard. It had spots. It happened so fast and I didn't pay attention. I caught the video and I went back and rewatched it. I didn't care what cat it was. It was just a big cat with spots, man. And they were it might have been a leopard.
Right. Well, I mean, with the devil monkeys though, even Lauren Coleman has looked into these things. So, and he does think that, there could be a type of primate that's living here in North America. So there's something to look into with the devil monkey.
I mean, there's so many places that we have not stepped foot. I don't think people realize how much, well, I think most of us do, but I think your normal person doesn't realize how much acreage is out there that no man has ever really stepped on. Except
there's a lot. There's a lot. I mean, with all the forests, even though we've been in there, it doesn't mean that we know everything that's in those forests,
Exactly.
I think people got to accept that we don't know everything just yet.
Yeah.
Because we really don't. I mean, we're getting there, but we're not at the point where we can say that we know every single living organism on this planet. Because we really don't. I don't think it's ever going to be a possibility.
No, we don't. And it's like I told somebody, it's like I told my dad. Now, he ran around Chillicothe, around Mount area and Tecumseh and all that. And he goes, I never saw a Bigfoot. And I go, Dad, just because you didn't see them doesn't mean they weren't watching you.
That's true.
I said, do you know how many times you've probably been in there playing and hanging out and mushroom hunting and all that with the family? You guys have probably been watched the whole time. Because where that area is at is big known grassman territory.
Right.
Is what they're called.
How many people can say they walked into the woods and they saw a bear in the wild? Not many people can say that. I mean, you have to go deep in the woods to actually see a bear or be very lucky to see a bear.
Or he comes wandering out, like if you're going through like Colorado, one of the Smoky Mountains, and they wander out onto the road looking for food or something. I mean, now they become quite bold about coming into neighborhoods now, and
that's our fault, though. That's humans' fault. We've been feeding them trash and all that stuff. We kind of Well, not domesticated. We kind of habituated bears.
Yes. Well, we gave them opportunities.
And that's a dumb move. That's a stupid move. That's really, really stupid to do. But with these devil monkeys, though, I mean, they even see them in Alaska. So, you know, that's another interesting thing about the devil monkeys is they're living in a very cold climate. And I get that argument a lot, like, oh, monkeys can't live in a cold climate. The hell they can't. There's a type of monkey that lives up in the mountains where it's snowy all the time.
Monkeys that live up deep in the mountains of the Himalayas, and they actually you know, bathe in the hot springs and stuff to keep to regulate their body temperatures and stuff. And they're impressive animals. Very
So if they can, if monkeys can live in the Himalayas, why can't they live in Alaska?
Exactly.
I mean, somebody's got to answer that one for me. Nobody's really been able to answer that scientifically. You know, so when these people argue, oh, monkeys can't live in a cold climate, I'm like, oh, shut up. Yes, they can. You know, if that's your only argument, then you have no argument. You need to go away.
And that's like we get to a little encounter here. The one down in Logan, the one that was told to me down in Logan was down in a diner. And he heard us talking about Grassman. He goes, well, I saw a monkey. And I went, what? And then the Seneca thing triggered in my head, and I go, you did? So I went over and we started talking to him. He said this thing was coming up. He just lives in like a cabin out in the middle of the woods. Pretty much, he used to go there on vacation, and then he got divorced and just moved in and stayed there because it was quiet. Anyways, he said during the fall, he would hear screeching and chirping and, monkey noises. And he kept thinking that maybe one of his neighbors had a pet monkey because down in Logan is known for a lot of exotic animals. Okay. My friend that had the Komodo dragon, he lived in Logan. So he thought maybe somebody just had a monkey. And he said all of a sudden he noticed his dog had pups. And the puppies were disappearing.
Oh, no.
And he was getting really agitated. So he was thinking maybe mountain lions and stuff like that have been known further out this way, come out this way. Very rare, though. And then we have coyotes, too. So he's like, oh, my gosh. But at night, the mother dog is really scared of whatever was going on in the world, and she would actually kind of try to drag the pups into a corner of the barn and kind of bury them with hay. This was Mom. She was being smart, but it would find them. Whatever it was finding them. And he would find her literally cowering in the other side of the corner of the other corner of the barn behind one of the stalls because he had a couple horses. And finally one night, again, he came out with his gun, heard a ruckus going on. Finally, I guess Mom had enough and put up a fight. His dog was all torn up, and all he saw was this thing. He said it looked like a giant monkey, a good-sized monkey, go through the window up in the loft, and he followed it around and it ran into the forest, and he was shooting at it. And never saw it again after that.
Interesting. Wow.
So you don't know if he killed it. He said he wanted to go out and look, and he did a little bit. He said the next morning he did go out and kind of wander around. Never found any blood or anything, so he's pretty sure he missed it. But
it never came back, huh?
But it messed it messed up his dog pretty bad.
I bet.
Did manage to keep one pup out of the whole. I think he said 6 pups. Out of it, and only one survived.
Wow, they did not like those puppies, did they?
No, and he doesn't know. See, I've heard it, like the chicken ones and some of the other stories I've ran through just reading and stuff. Chickens disappearing. I read a story about a guy had doves, and the doves were disappearing out of their cage and stuff like that. I've heard stories like that, and they all say it looks like a monkey with a mane.
Yep. Yeah, that's a really interesting thing about them too. Is like everybody that sees the devil monkeys describes them as a baboon or monkey type. They never describe them as little humans. They don't describe them as canines or anything. So you got to wonder where they came from. I mean, during the 30s, I think there was a lot of exotic animals coming into the States, for circuses and carnivals and the little freak shows or whatever. So I think maybe something had gotten loose during those 30s. And, that's when they started spreading out and they kind of created their own little environment. They started mating and spreading out.
Chris, I did not know this. See, he's from Cincinnati. And I'm from Logan, and I hang out in Logan. And I live in Cincinnati. That's highly possible. I know there's a lot of exotic animals that are kept around Logan and Southern Ohio. So it would not surprise me, Chris. It would not surprise me. I did not know that.
Hi, Ashley.
And actually, Smoochie, I used to have an anaconda. The zoo has it now. Ooh, I don't know if he's still alive, but this was many moons ago. He got too big to keep. Nobody would take it. So I had an interview. I was going to work in the as a manager for the Columbus Zoo in one of their dining halls that do catering and stuff and parties. Mm-hmm. And I had an interview, and I said, and at the interview, and I go, "Hey, you guys wouldn't want an anaconda, would you?" I said, "I kind of have it illegally, but would you like it? He's too big, and it keeps scaring the neighbors." So they took it. Wow! As far as I know, she lived for a long time. I haven't been back. So I don't know if she's even still alive, but man, she was huge. Last time I went to the zoo, and that was probably early 2000. She had to have been an old lady by then. And she was huge. I mean, she was huge. Bigger than I would have ever imagined.
That was 24 years ago, so I'd imagine she's gone by now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gone too.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ashley. Ohio was a big breeder state for exotic. Yeah, it is. It is too. I know a lot of spider guys do a lot of breeding here. A lot of snake guys do a lot of breeding here. A lot
of spiders for me, man.
Reptile guys do breeding here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but another interesting aspect about the devil monkeys is the height. Some people actually say they're 3 to 4 feet tall, but there are stories of them being 6 to 7 feet tall.
Now, the ones that I heard, they both estimated it to be about 5, up to maybe 5 foot. Mm-hmm. The one in Logan, he said the only reason he called it a monkey was the way it grabbed the window and the way it went through the window. Mm-hmm. Because, the loft in the window. And he said that was a monkey. He said the way it grabbed a hold, the way the legs grabbed a hold when he leapt out, it was obvious that it was a monkey.
I mean, if you stop and think about it, though, if they do get different sizes, like different heights, it's going to make a lot of people angry. But I think maybe these devil monkeys could be what's responsible for some dogman sightings. If you think about it, if somebody walks outside and there's a taller devil monkey outside that's 5 feet or whatever, and you're seeing it in the dark or in silhouette, you're not going to know it's a monkey. Your brain's going to associate it with canine, though. So I think there's some tie to the dogman lore as well.
Yes, I'm going to show you a picture that I saw on when I was looking for pictures for the backdrop.
Okay.
And this kind of, you would see this and you might think a dogman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, I think I have that in my thing. Hold on one second. See if I can get this to pull up. Okay. Go share. That right there.
Yeah.
Even though it's a costume, it's pretty much a depiction of what some people see.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if you were to see that and you didn't know about devil monkeys, you're going to go automatically to the whole werewolf thing. So
right.
I do think the two could have some ties together. I really do.
And you look at the picture too. The ears are on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But, depending on the way he was standing and crouched, they could look like they were a little longer on the side of the head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all dependent on, because we're not all the same. I'm sure they're all shaped a little different too,
I'm sure they could be to a certain degree.
Right. Yeah. I mean, they all have the same body type, but I mean, we're all different in our appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And, so if you look at like a group of orangutans or anything else, there are certain features that are differentiate them from the other when they're sitting beside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. Very true. Also true.
So, yeah, and I saw that picture and I'm going, now, if I saw that, I would probably think Dogman first. Easy.
I think a lot of people.
If I didn't see the feet, if I wouldn't have seen the feet, because both in this, you can tell both are like hands.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't see those, you would think, is this a Dogman?
Yeah.
Is this a werewolf?
Well, another thing to examine too is devil monkeys leave the 3-toed footprints, right? So if you were to find, tracks and they had 3 toes, that's another thing that's going to make you think canine. You're not going to think monkey. You're not going to think primate because it has 3 toes. Not a lot of people know about the whole, the toe issue. So
right.
I do think that, it could be responsible for some Dogman sightings. Not all of them. Definitely not all of them. But for some of them, I think it could.
Now, see, here's another one. Let me switch this one out. Now, this is one that sounds more like the one they described down in Logan, except he said it had more of a mane when he finally got a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd it go?
I don't know. Where'd it go?
I don't know either. There it is.
You found it.
Why is it not showing up on my... Oh, there it is. On Windows. Here we go.
Yeah,
that was the other one. You said it kind of looked like this. When I went back to look at the description, this is what it came up looking like. But he had more of a mane. They said it had more of a mane.
Mm-hmm.
Because according to what I wrote down, it kind of describes, except it said in the what I wrote down, he was a little redder in hair color.
Interesting. Okay.
But he said he had more of a mane. He said he definitely had a mane, but the description, because this is like a long and lanky creature here.
Right. Well, you know what else that looks like too is the little foot that people are seeing, the tinier versions of Bigfoot.
Really?
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that in a way too. So I mean, if these things can walk upright at all, they could also be responsible for the little foot sightings.
That's highly possible. That makes sense. It does make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw those 2 pictures. But when I saw that one, I was going through stuff to put up behind us.
Right.
I saw that. I was like, that looks familiar. So I went and grabbed it. I was reading the description. Everything but the color and the mane.
Yeah. Let's kind of touch on
red
that.
Eyes. He said it had red eyes.
Yeah. To touch on that Dogman theory, though, I mean, if these things get about 6 or 7 feet tall, right? If somebody walks outside in the woods at night and they see a 6 or 7 foot tall devil monkey because of the snout, because of the fur, the ears, the tail,
right.
The way it moves, they're automatically going to think it's a werewolf, though. So I do have to wonder how deeply tied together the devil monkeys and the Dogmen really are. I mean, it would make more sense if people were seeing these devil monkeys rather than werewolves everywhere. So it's just a theory of mine.
It's a good theory. It actually makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wonder how many people see stuff and can screw it with something else.
Yeah.
Like bale crawlers and skinwalkers. Or there's certain ghost-like entities that come off human, but they're really not like a ghost that you would think.
Fair enough.
And people screw them up too. So it's just, I guess, a matter of what you perceive at the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to admit, I mean, devil monkeys aren't something that's commonly known, So, I mean,
it's not.
You can approach anybody on the street and be like, hey, tell me about devil monkeys. And they're going to look at you like, what in the heck are you talking about? What is a devil monkey? But if you bring up werewolf to them, they're going to know what a werewolf is because everybody's
easy.
werewolf movies. So if people are running into devil monkeys, it only fits logic that they're not going to know devil monkeys. They're going to be like, oh my God, I saw a werewolf, until you start telling them about devil monkeys. And maybe their mind's going to be like, well, wait a minute. Maybe I saw something else. Maybe, because what you're describing here, maybe it is a devil monkey after all. It's something that we have to look into, especially if you're a researcher or a cryptozoologist. You got to examine things like this to see if you can explain away the
unexplainable. You got to look at all the possibilities. I mean, that's the key. And you literally got to look at everything.
Latro, what's up?
Latro. I'm surprised
Hey, where's
Juan's not here yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's homie Juan Kenobi tonight? What the heck,
Obi-Wan
dude?
Kenobi.
Yeah, I'm mad at you, dude.
I told him we'd have him on so he can talk about his Chewie
Yeah.
incident. I want to do that for sure.
Oh, me too. Too.
What is the most? I mean, where are the most encounters you heard about happen at?
Oh, two places. Alaska's really big on them, and then interestingly enough, Arizona's very big on them too. So, you know, I mean, like they say Mount Lemmon. Mount Lemmon's actually a very popular site for these devil monkey sightings, and Mount Lemmon's not too far away from me at all. It's only maybe about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Something to look into, though.
Smoochie. That's very interesting comment, because in one encounter I have an encounter written down of a guy who swears. Now, he called it a devil monkey. He outright called it a devil monkey, but it had wings.
Oh,
way.
So a flying hominid, then. That's where Ashley's got to come in.
And I go, dude, in fact, I can remember saying this to his face. I go, dude, were you tripping when you watched Wizard of Oz and it just stuck with you? Or what? And he's like,
you know
no, dude, it's what I saw.
This just reminded me of Wayne's World. I just felt like I should be saying, cheer right, and monkeys might fly on my butt.
Oh, yeah. Mark. Yeah, but when he told me, and he described it as pretty much as everybody else. It had a mane. It didn't have clothes on, but it had blackish gray fur. Okay. It had, I don't know if he would say they were white, but he said there was, on the wings, there were stripes.
Okay.
And they were like feathers. And he said it was in a tree. And he said him and these guys were hunting. And they heard what he quotes to be a chimpanzee throwing a fit. Wow. And it scared the deer away that they were going after. They were tracking.
Oh, I bet it did. I bet it did.
And one of the guys got mad and fired it because they couldn't see it. And as soon as he fired up in the air out of anger, he said it come out of a tree and it was literally flapping. And he had all fours. And he said, dude, it looked like a monkey with wings. He said, I swear I was living Wizard of Oz all over again.
Oh,
because
man.
He said that's what the one thing in the Wizard of Oz, he goes, that's the one thing in Wizard of Oz that scared the crap out of me was those damn monkeys.
Yep. Yep. Those things were terrifying, man. Why did the witch need flying monkeys, though? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Was the witch like an analogy for a narcissist or something? Is that why she had her flying monkeys? Because all narcissists have flying monkeys, you know? So
I guess so. I don't know. And in fact, that if you looked at what they were dressed like, they were all dressed like the monkeys that you see the guys with the Vitrolas.
Like little servants? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They even had the little caps and everything, if you look at it.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a weird analogy, I think. I think that's what they were aiming for with Wizard of Oz. But I mean, like, you know, flying ones, I don't really hear too many reports of flying monkeys.
That's the only one I have. That's why when we talked about it last time, I told you I heard about a flying one. Mm-hmm. That's the one I was talking about. And he had seen this way up North Ohio. Mm-hmm. Almost on the border of that and I think it'd be Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Up in there. And he said, yes, circus monkeys. Thank you, Smoochie. He said there was a trip because they were up there hunting. They were having a good old time. And then this happened. And the bit was a big old buck, I guess. And it took off as soon as it started screeching. He said that thing ran like it was scared to death. And when he said, as soon as the guys cussing and shot up in the air, and he said that thing, the tree shook, and it come out of that tree, and it kind of looked back at him as it flew away, and they were all. He said they all were like, "What the crap?"
Wow!
Just see, and he said they never went back to that spot again.
You know what? If I see a flying monkey anywhere, I'm not going back to that spot either.
He said, he goes, I'd rather see a Bigfoot than what I saw that day. Because we still don't know and understand what we saw. And he goes, I'm just glad it was just one of them. Because he said that because after I made the joke about Wizard of Oz to him. He was like, no, you don't understand that. Those monkeys from that scared the crap out of me as a kid. I had nightmares for days. Yep. And I'm going, really? And he goes, maybe something else. Maybe it wasn't what you think it was. Maybe it was something knew your fear and played on your fear, because some things.
Maybe.
But he said, no, all three guys saw it.
Okay, so it couldn't have been a shared fear because they weren't talking about it.
No. He said, man, he said it was probably about 4 to 5 feet in length. And he said the wings were probably another 6 feet in width. And he said they were wide. And he said on the feathers had like a stripe. He said he couldn't see exactly what color the stripe was, but I'm gonna have to try to sit down and do like you wanted me to do, draw some of the stuff that I see.
I think you should. I think that'd be a really, really good idea.
But yeah, and that's the only one I've ever heard of anything like that flying. Devil monkey. Because I still get kind of devil monkey. Is it sure it's just somebody monkey with rabies or something, But the more I've heard you talk about them, and I've been scouting around after I heard those stories. And apparently, they're not uncommon in Ohio. No. And they're not uncommon in the Appalachian Mountains either. Apparently, they've been seen there too.
Yeah. I mean, I talked to a guy here in Arizona. He's from Tucson. And, a lot of people will say that devil monkeys are misidentified, but this guy used to work at not just the zoo. He worked at the Desert Museum too. So this guy knew his wildlife, and he was biking actually up at Mount Lemmon. And he said that he heard something that sounded like a baby. It sounded like it was making baby noises. And he was reluctant to approach at first, but as he's going down this trail, the noises are getting closer and they're getting louder. So he went ahead and he proceeded very cautiously. And he said he saw what looked like a baby baboon. And he didn't get to look at it too long. He said that there were 2 more came out, 2 that were bigger than the baby. They were about 4 or 5 feet tall, and they hauled butt after him. And he said that they were leaping. They weren't running, but they were kind of like leaping as they were going after him. So they had like a bunny kind of thing going on. And so he worked at the zoo. He said that, baboons do that too. When they're trying to run fast, they don't really run. They run, jump. It's, and so these things chased him down that trail. He got on his bike and he just started, hauling butt, and they were still keeping up a good pace with him until he got down to where, he was cruising downhill. That's when he finally lost them. But the way he described them, he said, Ryan, they looked like baboons, but they looked like wild baboons, like very hyperly aggressive baboons. So this guy knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, because actually baboons can be rather aggressive.
Oh, they sure
can. They're very touchy animals. Hello, Edna. I didn't see you sneak in there, hon.
Oh, hey, Edna. Sorry we missed you.
Everybody has better days. I know everybody's going through one rough spot to another, and I get it. It's rough. It's been a crazy day. So what is the most recent one you've had? Because I haven't had anything recent at all.
The most recent one I had actually came out of the Rincons here in Arizona, where a camping group, they were college kids. They were up there having a little party and making, I guess, maybe a bit too much noise, or maybe the food they were barbecuing attracted some stuff that they didn't want. They said that monkeys attacked their tents, that like while they were trying to sleep, after the barbecue winded down, that it sounded like monkeys were hooping and hollering and slapping the sides of their tent and turning over their coolers. And they stole the food that was left on the tables. They actually came up, just took all the food, but they said it screeched, whatever they were screeching like monkeys. They sounded like baboons and chimpanzees. And they didn't really get to see them, but they could hear them moving. They could hear the hands clapping and the running around. So that's a recent one that I took, and if they're all describing monkey noises, you got to kind of stop and go, ooh, interesting.
Exactly. Now, do you run into the thought maybe somebody was raising a species of monkeys and either they passed on and they just let them go, or
that could be. I mean, but adapting like that would take time.
Everglades, so
it would take time, though. I mean, if you're going to have a population like that, then the person that was raising them would have to have quite the population on their property.
I was thinking the same thing when you brought that up. Yeah, you would have to have already like number of them, like at least, a couple of females, a couple of males for it to grow fairly quickly.
Right. And for them to adapt that quickly, though, man, I mean, most cases when an animal gets loose, its survival rate isn't very high.
Yes.
So.
And this is very true, Edna. You don't leave your food out because you never know what it's going to bring in.
That's what I was telling those people when they were telling me their stories. I was like, you don't leave food out. That's a stupid thing to do.
You don't.
That is a really dumb move, and you should never, ever do that again. But, they were probably a little too tipsy to even think about.
Probably. I was just going to say, it's like a guy told me, you don't put your food in the car either because bears learn how to open doors now. So
they'll break your windows, man. They'll just break your back windows and get into your car that way.
And I heard a story about a guy who almost had his trunk ripped open because they put it all in the trunk. And the bear was actually almost had it pried open.
Yeah, bears are scary, man.
So, and I could see, monkeys coming in a group like that and raiding a place and being skittish enough not to keep they were smart enough to keep the people in the tent. It was like they were thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
Bang on the tents while we steal the food.
Yeah. Keep them distracted. That decoy. Yeah, it's like a human tactic.
I'm trying to read comments. So what is your theory? Now, personally, I don't know what to think of these the devil monkey. I honestly don't know how to categorize these. Are these something that's been around forever and they've always been here?
I don't think so. Like I said earlier, what I think happened is, during the 30s, I think there was that big boom where they were bringing a lot of exotic animals over to the States. And I think we were just idiots. We didn't know how to keep care of them and keep them locked up. And we just kind of got tired of them and we kind of tossed them aside thinking, they'll die off. But I think maybe somebody had baboons at a zoo or a circus or a carnival and just said,
Which happens quite a bit.
Yeah, and they said skedaddle, and they somehow flourished and created their own population,
which makes sense. And it would make sense in certain areas because circuses and stuff like that are real big. Now the question is, do you follow? Back in the day, they used the railroad to travel. So what you do is you take all the sightings and see if they follow any old railroad tracks from one end of the country to the other. Yes. Just like you would do something with the ley lines. A lot of people use the ley lines.
Yeah, back in the 30s, though, they did talk about how there was a train that overturned and it was carrying baboons. So that's something you do have to consider. Maybe those baboons survived somehow. They got out. Even just a few of them. Maybe a few of them got out and they just started interbreeding and that created
and they adapt well.
Yeah.
And they will adapt very well.
Yep.
Hello, Jared.
Hey, Jared.
But yeah, they adapt really well. I mean, I don't think some people don't understand how fast animals will. I mean, some animals won't adapt because their body chemistry won't allow them to heat or cold. But a majority of the animal population can adapt to their environment.
Yep. Even if they're an invasive species, look at the python in the Everglades.
Oh yeah.
Pythons are doing overly well in the Everglades. I mean,
they're
killing
like
off
loving it down
there. Yeah.
And they have seen the spider monkeys down there, where people have let their monkeys, not just the spider monkey, where there's little, I can't think of the names of them. The more common, they're related to the spider monkey. It's the ones that most people keep as pets, and some of them use them as helper pets.
Yeah. Okay. The little tiny, cute little monkeys.
Yeah. It starts with a C or something. I can't say it, but you get a bunch of those. They're seeing them loose down there too. Not very popular, but I know that they've seen them also around the ocean shores, swamp areas down around Louisiana, along the Panhandle, and it just that's how you say it. I just can't say it.
Edna to the rescue. Thank you, Edna.
Capuchin monkeys. Yeah, I think you knew what I was trying to say. Thank you. Because see, they get to a certain point. You get, unless you've had it for a long time and well trained, they will go off the deep end. These little monkeys do tend, like little dogs, tend to get really aggressive and overprotective.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, you know, whatever you do, if you get an exotic pet, it might seem tame, it might seem trained. You can take the beast out of the wild. You can't take the wild out of the beast. Yeah. It's always going to be there. The instincts are embedded in a DNA. Okay, it's in its genetics to be an animal, so it's going to do what that animal does.
Oh yeah. But I liked your theory there about how these were probably escaped monkeys or released monkeys, and they just. And then if say that train tipped over and it not only had baboons, but it had other species of monkey, you know, they'll interbreed. They will try to interbreed. I mean, granted, I don't know if it'd take, but after a certain amount of tries, you have to wonder.
I should think it could. I mean, you know, monkeys would have the same number of chromosomes, I would suspect.
So I was thinking about that too just now, and I'm not sure if they do. That's something I'd have to go look up.
Well, I would think they would have.
I would think that it would be possible. I don't see why not.
Maybe with like slight variations in the bigger species. I think like great apes, like gorillas and chimpanzees would have maybe more chromosomes than like baboons and other kind. I'm not really sure.
See, I'm not sure. You'll have to look into that.
I'm going to look into it for sure.
Because see, it's not uncommon to have that happen with some species where they interbreed. You know, breed with other species of their type.
You got koi wolves, you got koi dogs. You know, that happens all the time here.
Yep, and like I said, I had a husky that was part coyote.
Yep. Yeah, right. So, see, Jared, you're right. Monkeys and chimps are also predators.
Yes, they are.
Amongst the most brutal predators too. I mean, if you watch chimpanzees are just like diabolically mean when they go and attack another troop. They are vicious beyond vicious.
There was a lady that had a chimpanzee. Actually, if you go on YouTube and pull it up, it's nasty. There's an actual 911 call. Of a lady saying her chimp went nuts on this lady, and it literally took her face off.
Yep. And wasn't that because she changed her hairdo though?
I'm not. No, it was a friend. The friend may have changed her hairdo. I don't know what triggered it. Does she say in the video? I'll have to go listen to it. But
I remember reading somewhere.
She's freaking out. You can hear the monkey in the background. Just this lady screaming and.
No, I remember reading somewhere though that like they suspected it was because she changed her hairstyle and the monkey didn't recognize her.
The friend, because that's who it attacked.
Yeah, and the monkey didn't recognize her
because the hair was one minute he knows her to look one way, and all of a sudden she comes back looking a different way.
Well, I got questions on that though. I do have questions on that though because animals recognize voices and they recognize face. So just because her hair was different, he's still going to recognize her voice. The voice
is like glasses. How certain animals will look at you differently once you put a pair of glasses on.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
Because I've seen Puff. A lot of times I don't wear my glasses around the house. Yep. And I'll put my glasses off, and he has to stop, and it's like he stops and takes a double take. Or when I shave, he'll take a double take.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Jared, you're right. They really are brutal.
Yes,
they are. They brutally beat and torture enemies. Yep.
Yes,
They're almost more human than we think.
And they use weapons too, which is even crazier.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they actually caught footage of that orangutan actually spearfishing not too long ago.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'll have to look at that.
That's kind of cool though that a monkey is spearfishing, and it's like, oh my god, is this going to become Planet of the Apes or what?
It makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it?
It makes me a little bit worried. That's what it does.
Yeah, that's another thing that drives me nuts too, Edna. And I'm not calling out a race of people, but if you look at a lot of the stuff with the buffalo in Rocky Mountains and places, they're just regular Americans, but a lot of Chinese immigrants come over here to vacation. Sure. And they will walk right up to these buffalo. I've seen a number of footage of the Chinese internationals walking right up to these buffalo, like thinking they're cuddly animals. But most of the time, it's just dumb people. But you do really get a lot of foreigners that come in and they don't understand, like bison. They don't have bison there.
Nope.
And it looks like a big fluffy cow with horns. I mean, they don't. They don't.
Yeah, but bison are huge, though. I mean, bison are massive.
They're huge.
Yeah, I mean,
they're huge.
Yeah, I'm not about to walk up to one of those guys and try to pet it. That's an assault cow. That's not a big friendly cow. That's an assault cow. That's a heavy assault.
Yes, it is. Yes,
you don't mess with that.
Actually, I've actually petted one, and I mean, he was tame. I mean, the guy's had raised most of them all of his life in Colorado. He raises them for show. He helps breed them for parks and stuff in case the population starts to drop. And then he also raises them for food. A lot of the bison you get in Estes Park is from his ranch.
Okay.
So, and he does everything humanely. I mean, I think he is part Indian.
Yeah, I always feel bad eating buffalo, though, man, because buffalo are sacred. I always feel really bad.
They're so majestic. They are one of the few animals that you can look at and say, that is a majestic beast.
Yes. Yeah, they're beautiful, man. They're big, they're huge, and they will wreck you, but they're beautiful. They are. From a distance, they're beautiful.
Yes. What my doe came by this morning and gave her an apple. Oh, that's nice. See, those critters are coming back for you, Edna. They know. I'm 38 TSA LA. I don't know what that means. I must have missed something somewhere.
He's talking about his lineage.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I'm a mutt. That's all I know is basically I'm a mutt that has Viking ancestry. That's all.
We're all mutts in some form or fashion, though.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Deer, we have a ton of deer here too. Tons of them for being in the suburb.
Cherokee.
Oh, you're Cherokee. Okay. Yeah, I have a friend I worked with the Airwaves. He was Blackfoot. I believe that's what Blackfoot. And his sister, not his sister-in-law was Crow.
Nice.
And I know that was tribes that were in this area at one point or another. Shows you how much I know about. I told you I know of Indians, some of the lore, but that's it. I got so depth.
You have a hard time with the names.
Yeah, I have a horrible time with the names. But then again,
I know a lot of the names are really beautiful, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like somebody tried to teach me Russian, and they looked at me and said, "Give up." And then they tried to teach me Spanish, and this lady was like, "Nah." Tried German, so I went and tried German.
She was just telling you, yeah, no, we're done.
And a little bit of, and then when I learned a little bit of Japanese, I couldn't retain it because it just was so hard for me. I'm trying to relearn it again. They're selling property over there real cheap, so you go and buy a house for less than 29.
Wow.
We know a guy that literally bought a whole block. We did all the houses on them and sold them for just a little bit over what he paid for and made a profit.
Whoa. That's how you do it. That's smart business right there.
And I think he kept a couple as rentals to, people come visit. They have a place to stay. Many of us prefer American Indian. Okay. I appreciate you telling me that. Yeah.
I feel like I've known Jared a long time. I feel like I have known Jared a very, very long time, but we haven't talked much.
Trying to catch up here. I don't now is there stories of devil monkeys in any of the Indian lore or a native or indigenous people of
I'm sure there are, but I think they're referring to them as something different. I'd actually have to look back and see.
Now, when we talked about the do it again. The Mahi Valley.
Nahani Valley.
The Mahi Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think they would be in there? That thing's full of everything.
I don't know. I mean, I do have the whole theory that devil monkeys are also kind of intertwined with the Gugwi stories, and the Gugwi are said to, they're said to live up in the Nahani Valley. You know, the face eaters, the Gugwi that the Micmac talk about. So, I mean, those could be a type of devil monkeys, I suppose.
That's maybe possible. I mean, that makes sense. Well, hello, creator inspired.
Jared, you show should, man. Yeah, like let us know when you have a free day, and we'll try to get you a show for sure.
Yeah, because we'll line you up, Juan, and then I have Chris Gordon, Chris, paranormal guy. I'm not supposed to use his last name. I'm sorry, sir. Is going to come on, he's got a bunch of UFO stuff. We've had him on before, and he's got UFO stuff. So it'd be a good, and then we just pick out a good day, either Tuesday or Thursday.
Jared, don't mention the Raven Mocker, man. I got a story to tell you about that sometime, Jared.
We're telling now.
Okay, so I came on to Gemma's show to talk about the Raven Mocker, okay? And everything was perfectly normal. Right after I'm done talking about that with Gemma and Ghost, I go outside and there's these big ravens following me everywhere I go.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. What did you tell me?
Yeah, dude, it's the creepiest thing. I mean, that's like a little bit creepier than that whole Wendigo situation when, it started snowing out here out of nowhere, but ravens being everywhere, I'm like, what did I do to myself, man? What did I set myself up for?
That's like every time we bring up shadow people, I can guarantee you the next day I see at least 3 following somebody. It never fails. Every time we bring it up, it's like when I've talked about the black-eyed kids, the ones I see in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go to the hospital next time and I'll see him. And one time I saw him, and I literally followed him for good. It was probably about a half hour trying to take a picture of him. And he finally went into an area I couldn't go. I mean,
dude, I think that talking about certain things, I really do believe that talking about it too much or talking about it often,
don't talk about them.
Yeah, it can bring things about. It's the same as like, drawing or etching. It's basically the same as manifesting in a way.
Why do you think I got rid of a lot of my stuff? Was because somebody kept saying, Steve, this might be why you were having some issues. So once I got rid of a lot of that stuff, I did then stop having issues. And I didn't have a problem until I started talking again. So, but it's not as bad. I mean, in the day, it was pretty bad. I mean, I was waking up bruises. When I did sleep, I'd wake up covered in bruises and stuff. Then after I got rid of everything, it stopped. Now, every so often I do, but it's usually because I saw something and I'm pretty sure it saw me back.
Interesting.
Which is it's pretty rare because now, this is why I keep saying the veil is lifted at least a little bit. It's not only thinning, but it's lifting. Is because I actually now fear. I didn't before because I was pretty sure these things didn't see me. I saw them, but they didn't see me. But now I'm starting to question that because I've had a couple of incidents where it definitely saw me. It definitely let me know that it saw me. And that's the only thing I can think of is something's changing.
Well, I don't know. It could be because you're paying them credit, man. You're paying them notice. When you notice them,
about it a lot more since I've been with Gemma. So yeah, it's highly possible. But
yeah,
I never had that problem before.
Yep.
Legendary shapeshifter. Who is this person? I want to know this person. Miss. Her grave is 3 miles away. Interesting.
That's something you'll have to tell us about, Jared. That'd be interesting to learn about.
Yeah, I would like to know about that. That just my ears perked up.
Yeah, you really like the paranormal stuff, huh?
Yes, I do.
That's
because a lot of my life is filled with it.
Well,
remember the eclipse in 2017? Stars pictured Native American princess was pregnant. Yes. Yes. Tell more about the shapeshifter. Yeah, we're going to have you on. We'll make it a note.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to come on with me tomorrow night at noon, if you can stay up that late, midnight.
No, you got to wait for a day that I can actually do this, like, and be like fully aware instead of late at night. We got to set a day for so it can be just me, you, and Jared. Dude.
Once we get the schedule set with Miss Pixie and get back on track, I want to have Paranormal Chris, the paranormal guy, on first.
Okay.
And then if you want to have Jared or Juan on Tuesday night, because this fits right in North Atomics anyways.
Let's do
That's fine with me. So if you want to get with Jared, if you want to get with Brian and work out like a Tuesday, we're going to do the 8 o'clock until the 20th of August.
Okay.
And then that will pretty much get her close to school, because I know one of the reasons she did the 1 o'clocks was because of the people over on the other side of the big pond.
Right.
And I kind of bummed out, but it was like I can get a lot done right now. Why? Even with the weather, so I'm trying to just play catch up on some stuff.
That's fair.
But once she comes back in the fall, at the end of August, with the kid going to school, we can go back to ones. And then if we want to have an extra show, I'm sure she'll allow interviews. I would like her to be involved with some of these, actually.
Yeah.
She would get a kick out of a lot of this.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Okay, so Jared's traveling for the next several days. Next week would probably work for him. Okay.
Okay, well, that sounds good to me. Tuesdays, just on Tuesdays, fine with me too. If you want to
just let us know.
Yeah, let Ryan know, because I know you probably can contact him easier than you could me.
And that would be right back. I'm going to use the little boy's room real quick.
Okay, that's fine. What time we got here? Oh, we're going to get ready to get off anyways here in about a half. We'll give it about 9:30. We'll go a little over. So I hope everybody's enjoying this. We're getting a little bit all over the place. Yeah, with the devil monkeys, it was hard. Even when I heard about them for the first time, I had a hard time finding a whole lot of information. I'd find encounters. This is why I love Brian so much, because he tends to look in places that I seem to miss. And plus, he knows more about Native American stuff, American Indian, American Native, whatever, however you want to put it. Where I lack in that department, and that's me to blame, because, like he noticed, I'm more into the supernatural, the spooky stuff, because that's what is always around me. I've dealt with cryptids. I've seen, I would say, pale crawlers in most parts. And some odd-looking creatures here and there. We're going to take it to 9:30 and call it. Sound good to you? Since we're 8 after.
Me, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, Jared, I'd love to have you on. And be blessed, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Jared. Be a great conversation.
Yeah, that will be. And I'm dying to hear Juan's Chewie story.
Yeah, where is he tonight? Where's homie Juan Kenobi, man?
Come on, you're ready. I know he's been working too, so.
You know what? All right.
What?
I'll give him a pass. I'll not be mad at him this time, but next time he misses it, I'm gonna be very mad at him.
I know he does a lot of work. I think he's a mechanic or something. He was working on last time we talked, I think it was him that was working on the food truck for somebody.
Yep, that was him.
Yep. Yeah, because I haven't seen Mike J for a while. I'm a little worried about him. I hope he's good. Hope he's watching. Mike J, where are you? I miss you, Mr. Behold. But yeah, anything else? Well, we could go ahead and call this now if you want.
No, I was actually going to ask you real quick. Where do you think the devil monkeys came from, though? Do you think my theory holds some water here, or do you have something?
I actually think your theory holds a lot more water than I would like to say. Actually, I was kind of come up with some weird stuff. Because here's the thing. This is like a couple other things.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those cryptids you don't hear a whole lot about. And when I get like those two little stories, and the one with the flying one, I still don't know how to to process that story, even when I reread it,
Mm-hmm.
because these guys were apparently, it was real for them, because the guy, when he told the story, was
Well, I mean,
obvious.
it's unusual. It's definitely unusual, but you got to remember Bat Squatch. You know, people have seen a flying Sasquatch essentially.
Yes.
So, I mean, if they could see a flying Sasquatch that's ginormous, why not a flying monkey? You know, why not?
Yeah. As for where they come from, that would be my first guess, is that these things were let loose. They were not from here, and they got away from somebody, or somebody set them free. Because in most parts, it sounds like a baboon, or a larger monkey type.
Yep.
And it sounds like it's either been interbred with something else,
Could
which
be.
is highly possible. It could have even happened before it was released.
Maybe.
I've heard the government conspiracy. They're messing with Chimera Project, where they messing with monkey DNA. This is a mix of something else. Maybe it's a mix of a monkey and a dog. That's why you get that canine look.
I think that's funny though, that like with every cryptid, there's like a government conspiracy attached to it.
Yeah, there's always one.
And yeah, I mean, Dr. Moreau, like Smoochie just said, I get it, but sometimes though we have to step out of fantasy for a little bit and actually focus on
involved in everything.
Yeah, focus on the science, because conspiracies don't give answers. Okay, conspiracies create more questions, and what we have to do, sometimes we have to step back and go, okay, let's stop being paranoid. Let's stop being frustrated. Let's look at the science, and so some of these cryptids could turn out to be normal, natural animals. Mountain gorillas, for example, were once cryptids. Okapi were once cryptids.
Yep.
Duck-billed platypus also was once a cryptid. So
yeah, that's true. And Mother Nature does weird stuff.
Yes.
And people don't even think about that. Mother Nature can do some really crazy things. So you have to leave it at that. And you got to remember, there are probably tons of other species that we haven't even seen yet. I mean, they're just discovering bugs and all types of different butterflies and spiders. They have discovered, you go in the ocean, they're constantly discovering a new fish or a new entity down there every day almost now.
I think Mother Nature is kind of playing with us too. I like to view Mother Nature as an actual living entity. So I think when we do something,
in a way, I believe it is.
Yeah, I think when we create something, Mother Nature plays that whole game of anything you can do, I can do better. I can do better than you. And so she makes something like, haha, look at that. I didn't have to do it cruel. I didn't have to do it in any malicious way, but lo and behold, I did something new. So
that's how I agree with that. I do agree with that. And sometimes I think we delve into things that we shouldn't, and Mother Nature corrects us or punishes us for it.
As she should. Should.
A 13-foot tall human cat. I've seen the biggest cat I seen a picture of was pretty big. He probably was, if he stood on all four, I would say he was almost 5 foot. But the legs were long, and it looked like it was interbred. And this was many moons ago, and I don't even know if I could find the picture, because when you see the picture, you would think, "Oh, this was AI. This is AI done." But this was way before AI. But you got to watch the stuff now. I'm seeing a lot of black and white pictures of giants and stuff, and it's all a lot of it is AI, and people are falling for it. And it's like, dude, stop.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, is like about 90% of the photos you see out there nowadays are AI. And I think people just don't bother looking into it, and they want to believe everything is true. But there's earmarks to look for too, though, with AI. The hands, most notably the hands, they can never get the finger
now.
correct.
If you notice, though, now it's starting to improve. It's correcting itself now.
Yeah,
but we still have problems with legs and feet. Certain human, positions kind of screws with it.
Yes. Yep.
So you got to be attentive to what you see. You got to open all those eyes nice and wide and really take a good gander at it, because there are pictures that I swore were AI that were very real. So then we're proven to be real. So you gotta take what you see, then go farther.
Right.
So, because sometimes what you see your eyes can deceive you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think with with AI, if anything looks too good to be true, chances are it probably is.
Yeah, and that's usually most cases. Yes. Respond to positive, negative. Oh, yes. Our people have known about the living earth. Yes, I totally agree with that, Jared.
Yeah, it's essentially what I was saying, Jared.
Did you ever watch a video of the objects I saw? Yes, I did. And you need to, if you still have my address, send me new ones, because that was on my old computer and I couldn't save everything off the old computer. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping you'd come in and say something about it. If you still have my email address, it hasn't changed. If not, you can just go to my profile here on YouTube. It's on that profile. SLDragonZW, gmail.com. And send, if you still have them, send them to me, because I did lose them. And I was going to show them to Ryan. And I went to look for them the other day and couldn't find them. So I'm glad you refreshed my memory. Shelly's caught stuff. Jules has caught stuff. The stuff that Jules caught, to me, looked like Fae. They're little sparkly entities, and they're kind of neat. Oh, thanks, Jared. They're kind of neat, and Shelly's caught some stuff. So, yeah, if you got it, resend it to me, hon, because that was all on my old computer.
It's on her
I was not able to save everything. Believe me, I lost a lot of data on that I wish I would have kept. But unfortunately, they beat me to it.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
Nope. And that, because there was some discriminating stuff that I was actually going to help nail some people with, and all gone.
Oh, you were playing some dirty games there, Ghost.
Oh, well, it was about children, and I don't play that game.
Oh, okay. No, I'm with you on it.
I don't want to go into the touchy subject here on YouTube, but yeah, I don't play the game, and I was out to help somebody tag a group of people, and I lost everything. And then they were a little more efficient than I thought. They literally destroyed the computer.
And is 100% correct.
Yes, we have. I think it's not most people. Most people, I think you'll find, really do understand the concept of Mother Earth. But unfortunately, the bad ones seem to do a little more. And it's always that small, minute of people that do the most damage. You ever notice that?
Yep.
And that's what's happening with the Earth. It's that small group of people that are causing the most ruin.
Yes.
The wreck will both have water.
I'm
just trying to read all this. I tell them to clean up. I do it all the time. And we were cracking each other up because we both carry bags around. I'm one of those guys, if I see a bunch of trash, I start picking it up. So I had to start carrying bags around.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, you ready to call it a night now?
Let's go ahead and call it. We're getting kind of sloppy here, so as I call it.
All right, well,
everybody have a wonderful
have a great night, everybody.
I will see you. I'll let you know about Thursday.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sounds good.
I'm waiting to hear from Pixie or Gemma, so everybody.
All right, when you know, let me know. I'll be around.
Enjoy the walk with your donkey. Don't stay out.
All right. Take care, everybody. All right. Bye-bye.
And everybody have a lovely night. And I shall see you tomorrow night at midnight for those who join me. I'll be here at midnight. Chill and chat. We'll hang out. Just if you want to carry on, we can. Hopefully I'm in better shape than I was in last Saturday. Because I was rough last Saturday. And I appreciate everybody that hung out with me. I had the jitters pretty bad. I was rambling more than I am now. Please, Jared, one of us will get a hold of you. I'll have Brian get a hold of you. I need to get a hold of Juan, and I'm going to get a hold of Chris, the paranormal guy, and we'll get things set up. and we'll go from there. Everybody have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, wherever you are. And I will see you guys on the flip side of tomorrow night. And have a wonderful one. Take care. Peace out.